midnight of 11th of May and once of lifetime Aurora Borealis northern light was witnessed by many people in Europe, Canada, US, and even at the south of San Francisco, that latitude degree is 37 degrees of north, has been seeing the northern light. And, that is amazing. It is breathtaking beautiful. Today, I'm going to share the photo and my interpretation of the Aurora Borealis. Welcome to Astrologer Sky. This series is inspired by, the beautiful image of the astronomy phenomenon and galaxy, nebula, and the only aim is encourage astrologer. Look up, look at the sky, because astrology is not happen on your app, on your ephemeris, or on your book. Astrology is up there. So look at the sky. So welcome to Astrologer Sky. Today I'm going to share my enthusiastic photo of the astronomy photography and also the astrology of background of it. So first things is I'm going to share the photo with you, so because I think this is a very, very rare opportunity. So I will explain it. But let's look at the photo first, okay? So this is the photo I took around the midnight and back to in London in my backyard. And how stunning when I step out and look in the night sky. To be honest with you, if you never see northern light before, this is very different because this northern light happen in the middle latitude as south as London or New York or San Francisco. What we see is not this light. This light you can only took it by photograph. What you see is kind of a silver white stream, but the radiant. So it's like a light. It's like glowing silver light in the sky. Okay. So this is another set of photo I took continuously every 10 seconds. And I'm trying to take different shots. And in the middle, that first, you have to pay attention. That is, I took it with my phone, an iPhone 12. So, well, how does this northern light happen? Basically, what we know is that northern light was happen when the a powerful solar storm happens. So the sun's surface give the huge cloud of electrical charge particle, and this particle come to the Earth, collide with our magnetic field, and this is the situation between the cloud of particle of our atmosphere and the sun. So usually we know you can see this type of a phenomenon in the higher latitude, Iceland, North Europe, north of Norway, Russia, Canada. It could be seen kind of nearly, they say, every day. It's true. But the events on the evening of the 10th of May and the midnight of the 11th of May are very unusual. And it was astrologer to pay attention. That's why we're going to make interpretation. This event happened on that because there is a powerful solar spot and a powerful solar storm. It comes from the solar spot area AR3664. This spot was forming around the last Tuesday, and it start to the eruption and bring the powerful, a very severe, super powerful solar storm, and blow toward to Earth. And when it hit Earth, the particle from the sun and the Earth's magnetic field was collide each other and cause beautiful northern light. And then we can see it in London, in New York, even in San Francisco. That is very unusual. First things I want to share with you the photo I took too. This is the photo I took in the with my telescope. Yeah, this is the photo taken on the I think it was on the Friday before the beautiful northern light. We can see that was on a Friday. So this big area of sunspot, they have hundreds sunspots. This is the area AR 3664. Then we have a little bit close up. Okay, this is a very, very beautiful image, and this is the reason we have very beautiful northern light on the evening of 10th of May and the morning of 11th of May. So now we know the northern light are related to solar spot and solar storm. Then in astrology, do we really do study? I think there's a few astrologers doing this study. I think my good friend and the mentor, Christine Skinner, she's doing this study. And I heard about a very famous Turkish astrologer, Onur. He's also studied about the solar activity. And we know the solar activity really has impact on the global financial market. But I have the ideas like also is related to our activity. Why? Okay, let me just show you the website. I think the Christine usually to talk about when we talk about solar activity is the spaceweather.com. And just a simple figure, then you will understand how that important. On this website, on the left-hand side, you will see the spotless day. This means how many days we don't have sunspot. Let's check. Currently, we are in 2024. There's 0 day. That means we have sunspot every single day. And about last year, exactly the same. 2023, 2024, we have every day we have the solar spot. Okay, in 2022, only 1 day. What happened? Let's check. In 2019, 2018, 2019, and 2020, especially 2019, 281 days, 70% of a year. And on 2020 is 208 days, 57% of the year. We don't have sunspot. No need to remind you. What happened that 2 years? COVID-19 was started at 2019. That's why I call it COVID-19. There's no need explanation. And the whole year of 2020, we are suffering in confinement, lockdown, whatever you say. And then we also suffering from the global energy price surge right after that. And then we have the we have also the inflation very soon. So all these are really make us have a difficult to not to believe the solar spots impact to our human activity. Let's watch another example. Here we have the year 2007 and the year 2008 and the year 2009. Especially 2008 and 2009, we have nearly 70% of the year without solar sunspot. And remember what happened that 2 years? Credit crunch, global financial crisis. I'm not saying it's definitely have an impact. Yes, it definitely have impact to our society. And then that is very interesting. So it is very hard to not believe the solar activity has no impact to our social economy life. Okay, so this is the first thing that I want to mention, and then now we have to move on. My interest bit is, should we interpret? I know we already interpret about the solar activity like Christine Skinner, like Onur. Should we interpret about Northern Light? Yes and no. I mean, first, well, I mean, I have to tell you, accordingly, my tradition Chinese astrology is not that type of Chinese astrology. Okay, the real observation sky and make an interpretation in for those astrologer from the royal court. They have to interpret every single celestial phenomenon. So that is astrologer's job. A northern light, a blazed star, a comet, or you know, a shooting star or meteor shower. Let me share a personal story with you that is, I'm not going to attack anyone, so I'm not going to say who is that guy. But the story was back to, I think, 2017 or 2018. I give a talk about comet and the meteor in a very, very important astrological quadrant. And when I finished my talk, I was very excited. That was my first ever talk to that organization. And then one of the astrologer who I respect a lot came to me after I was in a bar, have a drink, and he came to me. I say a greeting to him, and he was very tired, and maybe very cranky. So I say, "How's your day been?" I said, "Very tired. There are a lot of lecture." I said, "Yes, I can see. Yes, and that's why we love you because you're here." And they say, "How about your talk?" I said, "Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it, and I even make a little bit about how to make interpretation about a shooting star." Then I can't believe his reaction was a little bit disappointed. But I think it's personal. He would say, "Shooting star? What's next? Are you going to interpret the satellite?" I always feel, oh God, this is not cool. And maybe you're just too tired and cranky. I would think this is not personal attack, but I would say, okay, let me say this. I say, let's say if we are astrologer in the medieval time or in the ancient time, would you explain a light repeatedly cross the sky every 2 days or every 3 days? I think as astrologer, that is our job. But just today, astrologer only reading a sunrise or look chart on a computer screen, on the app on your phone. Then we forget to look at the sky, and then thinking about reading the sky is not astrologer's job. Okay, so this is not a gossip time, but it's just to tell you how I feel about go back to read the sky, how important that is for us. So what I'm going to share with you is a little bit, a little part is more like a mythology. I did a little bit of research. I want to share with you the story. Okay, so mythology of the Northern Light, and also some astrology related to this time on the 10th of May. So first, I think because we have to pay our attention in the Nordic country, Nordic mythology, because there is the Northern Light happen every day. So, for example, I think in the Norse mythology, there's people saying the Northern Light are related to Valkyrie, the famous a female war goddess, and their job is to leading those foe of the death warrior in the battlefield to their everlast place, Valhalla. So there is a verse of poetry described like this. It comes from the Norse poem, Vornsson got Killa. Okay, they say, then light shone from Logathil, and from the radiance there come bolt of lightning, where helmet at Himigin, the Pyrenees were drenched in blood. So when the Valkyrie appear, their shining armor has caused the Northern Light. These are in the Norse mythology first things related to Northern Light. But there is also some other stories suggest that those soul of a brave soldier who die in the war are leading by the Aurora to their final ever resting place in Valhalla. Okay, so with brave soldier and the Valkyrie, they both symbol of the brave soldier or war or conflict. Remember, is a particle collide to each other. Okay, And also, I think the another story talking about the in Finland, Sami people thinking about the fox, or your friend, your lost friend, your past friend, who are happy dancing in the sky. That is also, quite beautiful. But in the South Hemisphere, they also have the aurora. They call, it's a not Northern Light, but it's aurora. So the Maori people believe the Aurora Australis, the Southern Light, was caused by their ancestor who those explorer who sailing to the south land of ice. Ooh, South Pole. So they say they rise the torch, they light it up to show them where is that place. I think from the courageous ancestor explorer or brave warrior, so old friends who are dancing in the sky. All this beautiful story is just tell us that those beautiful soul we are admired. And I think there is a message of encourage us to be brave and to be happy. That's just a very simple delineation, not really deep sticking out. I need more study about that. And now I'm going to share with you is the very interesting way, because astrologer usually will record the time and the chart when they see a event. For example, this is come from my knowledge when I studied the comet, like Tycho Brahe. He used the time he witnessed the comet to do a comet interpretation. Okay, so I'm going to share with you is the chart of the 10th evening of 10th of the May, and then you can see the chart what exactly happened that day. Okay, so let me bring the chart. Ooh, I have a little bit of challenge here. Where is my chart? Here. Okay. So now you can see my chart, and this is I think I checked the photos. So the first time I see the northern light was around 11:30. So it's 11:27 in London. So ascendant was a Sagittarius, 23 degree, and that was the moon is setting. Okay, moon was setting there. And that is the I think it's a very, very interesting, because the moon was setting at the 27 degree Gemini. That is right on my moon. That is very interesting. Then the moon is a square. Moon is a square Neptune. What are the symbol of a beautiful image, breathtaking image? Neptune. Neptune in Pisces at the last degree. Okay, anarchy degree, that is kind of a fate degree or crisis degree, and being triggered by this moon. And that was really, really interesting image in the sky. And I have to tell you, that was very interesting because the moon in Gemini and on the descendant and, square the Neptune in the third house. That was the moment I see the northern light, and it was breathtaking. I really want to shout. I really go, oh my God, it's so beautiful. And I really intentionally, I want to wake up all my neighbors. I really want to make some noise to wake them up, say, hey, this once a lifetime miracle is happening. How could you sleep? Well, I didn't do that. I know I will be told off. So instead of doing that, I took a photo and post on Facebook and try to, let people know if they are not sleeping, go to look at the sky, northern lights happen. And you rarely to see the northern light in this latitude. Okay, last time happened was 20 years ago in 2003. I will tell you something about that later. Okay, so this is a very interesting, I think, this beautiful image to remind us to treasure our dream. Even that's hard, moon square Neptune. Even that's hard. To be honest, if we apply a little bit horary and traditional astrology skill about the moon, was indeed traveling. Was the last aspect was with Saturn, and then move toward to Neptune. So this moving was moving us from Saturn in Neptune, Saturn in Pisces to the Neptune in Pisces. Saturn is a harsh, serious teacher. Saturn usually not going to have a joke with you. They usually tell you something you have to learn. And Saturn is also a kind of a place called harsh difficulty. So there is a suggestion we are trying to move away from the harsh environment, harsh situation, and toward to chasing our dream. We should not let the difficult environment or the harsh situation or other people's experience or other people's doctrine or their religion to stop your dream. This is the moon moving toward to Neptune. We should follow our vision. We should follow our dream. Okay, even that's difficult because the moon square Neptune. Nothing is easy with square. Well, I think most astrologer, like my friend Giulio Pellegrini, he mentioned about the interesting stellarium between the Aries, the Mars, Chiron, Mercury, and the Jupiter, Uranus, Sun, and the Venus. These two group. I think it's very interesting. The Aries group with Mercury, Chiron, and the Mars was leading by the brave Mars in Aries. It's just moving, and it's very powerful. Mars is very brave, is a strong leader, and he's a daredevil, dare to charge. So it's kind of fighter spirit. Another side, there is a Jupiter, Uranus, and the Sun leading by, ruler by Venus in Taurus. Venus is the ruler. This ruler is steady, is calm, and focus on resource. The problem of these two groups is they can't see each other. There is no traditional aspect between these two groups. So they can't see each other. It's just, I think in the traditional astrology, they call it aversion. One in Aries, one in Taurus, they don't see each other in their eye. So when we are not seeing each other in our eye, the conflict happen or we step on other people's toe because we don't pay any attention of them. Well, interesting is that we have to pay attention because in this chart, these two groups is exactly describe the situation we have. More interesting in this chart, Mercury is right on the IC. Mercury at 24-degree Aries is right on IC. What does Mercury in Aries mean? Fighting with your neighbor, I want to make a noise to wake up my neighbor. Maybe it's this Mercury. A harsh word, harsh language, or argument, or maybe, you argue with a sibling, with your neighbor, or maybe I think we can also think about the Mercury as as a message. They send a encouraging message, okay, to ask us to be brave, to be brave. I think this is a very interesting Mercury position, especially during this time. The Mercury is conjunct Chiron, is also healing from the wound. And we know at this moment, the university students from all around the world, if you watch my last week's podcast with our colleague, we're talking about the protest in the university camp. That is exactly described by Mercury Chiron conjunct in the Aries. We are trying to heal the wound caused by the war. We are not here to judge who is right, who is wrong. No, we are not here to anti who or who. We just want to stop hurting each other, all right? So I think this northern light has that meaning too. Is maybe you can say I'm just you know make an interpretation just because I want to say things like that. Up to you. But I think this chart has that message because hey, there is a northern light in the sky. There is a northern light in the sky. How often you can see it in this latitude in New York, in Los Angeles, in San Francisco, and in London? No, last time it was happened in 2003. Oh well, you remember what happened in 2003? George W. Bush and Tony Blair, or I will say the US and the UK working together, alliance to taking over Iraq, try to overthrow Saddam Hussein. I don't say is that right or wrong. I think it's very difficult to judge, and there is a lot of argument. But you remember during that time, a lot of people still say we don't want this war, and now we see the result too. I think what we condemn is the war, and then the Northern Light are related to brave the soul of a brave soldier. I think it is a message sending to us, coincidentally with Israel just take a huge attack on in the Gaza again, and I don't want to say it's right or wrong to do that, but it's sad news. It's sad news, and we really don't want to see that anymore. And maybe finally, I would say we always say sending the healing light. I mean, apart from the astrology, maybe I think who is above there? He can keep it up. He just like, that's enough. You guys, I'm sending you healing light. Okay. Thank you for watching the Astrologer Sky, and I hope you enjoyed today's presentation. And next week, I'll invite a colleague to talking about the chart skill. And see you next week. Bye bye.